Nonetheless, the two of us became convinced that we should not only embark on an epic journey, but begin someplace incredibly daunting and remote where none of our friends had ever set foot before. And so we decided to kick off our adventure in the People's Republic of China. At that point, Communist China had been open to independent backpackers for about all of 10 minutes. The summer after our graduation from college, we'd purchased around-the-world airline tickets, which began with a flight from New York to Hong Kong that September. By slowly plane hopping around the waistline of the planet, we figured we'd circumnavigate the globe in exactly a year, returning just in time for my student loans to come due. We had no idea, of course, of how complicated the world could be, or of our place in it, or of just how much trouble we were in for. We didn't even comprehend what it would feel like to lug water purifiers, sleeping bags, and leaden pairs of hiking boots around the globe. All we thought was, hey, let's be Odysseus, let's be Byron, let's be Don Quixote, Huck Finn, and Jack Kerouac all rolled into one, except with lip gloss. Let's conquer the fucking world. As we alighted from the gangway, Claire pirouetted. Oh my God, we're in Hong Kong, can you believe it? We each gave a trilling, girlish squeal, no doubt exactly as Odysseus would have done, and sashayed through passport control. We hadn't even reached the baggage claim, however, before I got a massive nosebleed. Blood pooled in my left nostril, dripping down my face. A sweet, meaty taste filled the back of my throat. Although I'd been sure to stuff a half-pound bag of M&Ms, my diaphragm, and my 913-page astrology guide, Linda Goodman's Love Signs, into my carry-on, it hadn't dawned on me to pack Kleenex. I found a crumpled, lint-ridden United Airlines cocktail napkin and stuck it up my nose. Ow, Claire winced as she drew closer. That looks nasty. Here. She guided me like a blind person across the concourse to the ladies' room. Thousands of women had passed through it during the day. Streamers of wet toilet paper lay matted across the floor. Claire eased me down onto a dry spot near the sinks. Leaning my head back, I almost choked on my own blood. She rummaged through her purse, pulling out the split of champagne we'd bought at the duty-free shop back in San Francisco, her Mason Pearson hairbrush, a paperback copy of The Genealogy of Morals. Claire was perhaps the first person to insist on bringing the complete works of Friedrich Nietzsche on a backpacking trip. But she hadn't thought to pack tissues either, which was ironic because we'd otherwise prepared for this voyage as if it were the invasion of Normandy. The bags we checked were laden with no less than 14 Berlitz phrase books, 2 different types of malaria pills, earplugs, first aid kits, inflatable pillows, sarongs, flip-flops, bug spray, Quell, anti-diarrhea medicine, canteens, condoms, 6 Penguin literary paperback classics by authors ranging from Cervantes to Virginia Woolf, and enough tampons to last us a year. Stay here, she instructed, pivoting around. Even when she was exhausted, Claire moved with the discipline of the ballerina she'd once been, her feet turned out, her carriage erect, her chin elevated. With her long neck and aristocratic features, she looked like a Dutch Renaissance Madonna, albeit one in a polo shirt and pleated khakis from L.L. Bean. She had an air of certainty about her, a regal loveliness. Me? I was all breasts and flyaway hair and enormous mismatched rhinestone earrings. Half the time I flounced around in black rip-neck sweatshirts with my bra strap showing. I'd cleaned my act up for traveling, but just barely. Claire returned, dragging both our backpacks. Fuck, we overpacked, she said. Gingerly, I stood up. My reflection in the mirror was a catastrophe. The lower half of my face was caked with dried blood. It looked like a Ming vase that had been smashed and glued back together. Claire handed me a fistful of napkins from the airport snack bar, and I cleaned myself up as best I could. Now, if you've never really traveled before, and you've just flown over 31 hours in economy class, 2 rows up from the smoking section, to a foreign city in an upside-down, day-as-night, hallucinatory time zone, and you're filthy, as a general rule of thumb, it's a good idea to take a room at a Holiday Inn for a couple of days to get acclimated. But Claire and I would have none of this. We were determined to check ourselves directly into a shithole. All our lives, Claire and I had been ambitious, straight-A students who built dioramas of Aztec villages for extra credit in social studies, who recited Robert Frost poems for our parents' unsuspecting dinner guests, who took AP French in high school and edited the yearbook and wrote honors theses in college. It wasn't enough for us to merely navigate the world on our own. Oh no, we had to prove to everyone in the process just how expertly and imaginatively we could do it too. Like everything else in our lives, we seemed to believe our trip was something we'd be getting graded on.